Am I overreacting for not wanting to stay with my girlfriend after she kissed another guy while drunk? By Decent Tone 45, I, 29M, have been with my girlfriend, 26F, for a bit over a year. Last weekend she went out with her friends, got wasted, and ended up kissing some random guy at a club. She told me about it the next day, crying, saying it didn't mean anything, that it was a stupid mistake, and she was too drunk to think straight. She swears she didn't sleep with him, and that it was just a kiss. Now she wants me to forgive her and move on, because at least she was honest, and people do dumb stuff when they drink. But I feel like if the roles were reversed, she'd dump me instantly. I'm torn. Part of me thinks maybe I'm being too harsh over a kiss. But the other part feels completely disrespected and can't stop imagining it. Am I overreacting if I break up over this?
Top comment by Good Barnacle 4147 one day ago. This is a shit one, sadly. From what you said, she doesn't sound the least bit sorry. She wants you to forgive her and move on, just like that. No big deal at all. With her justification basically being, hey, at least I didn't lie to you about it. She wants you to forgive her because she feels bad about it. Not because she is sorry, but because she doesn't want to have to feel bad about it anymore. Nah, if she doesn't understand the trust she has broken and isn't making any effort whatsoever in trying to mend and rebuild that trust, then that is a massive red flag, buddy. I don't like being dismissive of people and like to give them the benefit of doubt, but she expects to cry some crocodile tears, get a slap on the wrist, and use her all good again? Really? Anytime she goes out in the future and is tempted again in a similar situation, she'll be thinking, well, nothing really bad happened last time, I can just cry and apologize and everything will be fine again. She's using alcohol as an excuse, straight up acting on impulses she secretly hides when not intoxicated. I wouldn't jump the gun and just flat out break up. People can change. Sit down and have a long, difficult conversation about it and your feelings. Make sure she is actually acknowledging the pain and broken trust she has put you through. If she brushes it off, doesn't feel like it's her fault, solely laying the blame on alcohol, doesn't feel any kind of remorse, or if you feel in any way that she isn't being sincere in her apology or trying to mend the relationship, then dip. Does this point you leave and break it off? Regardless of the hurt or anguish, you'll both be better off that way, as it sounds like she is too immature to understand or care about your emotions, or that a relationship is built on trust. It's the foundation, and she has completely broken and cracked that. If you leave as is and continue on, then you'll only be questioning and suspecting her every move for the rest of time, whether there's call for it or not. IDK man, like I said, it's a shit one, and ultimately your choice. But do what's in the best for yourself and own well-being. Trust your gut.
Downwards, arrow tip rightwards. Reply number 1 to top comment by only one Dreams one day ago. This is a very generous take towards OPS girlfriend. Someone who actually cares would be a lot more empathetic and understand that repairing trust takes time. There's more than enough red flags for me to say dump instantly, as OP is sure what happened to him if the roles were reversed. He understands on an intuitive level that she has way more respect for herself than she has for him. He should recognize that this is not someone who you want to rely on in a relationship. Even as a friend, she sounds terrible.
Downwards, arrow tip rightwards. Follow up in the thread by No Spanking Allowed one day ago. The fact that she puts the responsibility on her drinking tells me that she certainly isn't someone I would put my faith on as a partner. What about next time? Oops, had more drinks than last time, sorry, but we screwed, but it was only because I was drunk. Forgive me and let's move on. Lather, rinse, and repeat.
Downwards, arrow tip rightwards. Still talking it through by Best Confidence, 156023 hours ago. This. OP, both my wife and I have been drunk before. Yeah, we somehow managed to not make out with complete strangers. And you to forgive her because, at least she's honest, is BS and manipulative as hell. I don't blame you for wanting to break up with her.
Downwards, arrow tip rightwards. Follow up in the thread by Bull City Boomer Sooner, 23 hours ago. She's a party girl. Unless OP's a party guy, and she's just as okay with OP hooking up with other women while partying, these two aren't compatible. As long as you keep partying, this will keep happening. Either accept it, or move on. I'd move on.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. First reply on top comment by GamesArfin one day ago. You're assuming his girl was being honest and it was just a kiss. In reality, it often starts by admitting just the kiss and then escalates step by step until you find out they actually banged. It's called trickle-truthing, and the only reason they even admit to the kiss in the first place is because there were witnesses around and they are trying to get ahead of the damage. Kind of weird that she brought up not sleeping with him right off the bat when no one had accused her of that yet, unless that is actually what really happened and what the trickle-truthing is trying to hide.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Reply number 3 to top comment by Deminor Symphonist 21 hours ago. The cheater has no right to tell the partner that was cheated on to move on. Trust broken means that they should work on making sure that no matter how many times you bring it up genuinely to talk about how it makes you feel. But also, to be fair, you shouldn't bring it up as a means of punishment either. And what I mean is, let's say you decide to stay and work on things, and she brings something up that upset her. You can't just reply with, well, you kissed another guy, so I don't care how this makes you feel. I want to be clear, though, that when something is triggering you because of the situation, like for example, she says, I'm going to go out with my girls to the club again, it might mean that it triggers some negative response from you. You might feel angry. In that very moment, you should bring up how you feel, how it bothers you. Speak about the insecurity you feel in the relationship because the trust was broken. And the proper way for her to respond is not to brush it aside, but to sit down with you and try to comfort you in the moment.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Someone responds to top comment by Content Rock 3669 one day ago. My mom kissed another man one time when she was drunk and she was married. Manipulated him into forgiving her, and now she treats him like shit.
Comment number 2 by Clangley24 one day ago. I'm turning 25 and a woman. I have been blackout out with my girls while my boyfriend was working overnight. I never once thought about kissing another dude. I wouldn't even let a dude near me. I actually would be texting or calling my man while blackout. Entertaining people regardless of being drunk or not is a person's values/morals showing through. No, you're not overreacting, and don't let her guilt trip you.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. First reply on comment number 2 by No Breakfast Balls one day ago. 100% agree. I can never understand the argument that any actions committed while drunk/blacked out are solely the fault of the booze, and not a reflection of the person's underlying character showing through. The fact of the matter is, she was drunk and horny and was willing to get her gratification with some rando who isn't you. And for me, that would be hard to come back from.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Follow up in the thread by Pipe Revolutionary 101 one day ago. Drunk actions result in someone doing something they felt sober and didn't have the guts to do. I pushed, not literally, quite a few women away while I was drunk and in a long-distance relationship. It's either who you are or aren't. Now maybe she did it and feels dumb AF because she realized how terrible a lot of guys are and appreciate you more, but you have every right to feel the way you do. Essentially, the ball's in your court.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Continuing the conversation by Massive_Ioli 8395 one day ago. Absolutely, I don't like giving advice, and I think people should make their own decisions, but the drunk excuse holds no value for me. I don't care because I've been to the limits of my system's capabilities with alcohol, and I've never felt like I was just mindlessly doing things. Of course, decisions are swayed, but something like this is inexcusable, because to me it means that there was desire to do it. Might have been easier to do it with alcohol, but there was still desire.
Comment number 3 by Global Morning 3990 one day ago. A story as old as time. It starts out with it being just a kiss, but then later she admits they made out, then later admits she let him feel her up. Then later she says that she sucked him off in the bathroom. Like another poster said, she is using alcohol as an excuse. Will she promise to never drink again, since she obviously can't control herself around it? Will she agree to never have girls' night again, since she can't be trusted to be out with her friends? I dunno, man. All this is up to you and how she is willing to build back trust with you. How long your relationship was, and if it is worth starting over without her if you really saw a long-term future with her.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Someone responds to comment number 3 by Every Performer 1408 one day ago. Well said. No better way to beat a murder charge than by confessing an unrelated burglary before the body's been found. Also guarantee the partial admission only came about because there's some link between OP and the witnesses with her that night. She's getting ahead of it.
Comment number 4 by Two Roars one day ago. NR. I think this would normally be a deal breaker, especially when you've not been together that long. If you can truly believe she acted out of character and trust her again, then you should forgive her. If you can't forgive and trust again, that's totally understandable. I will admit that the way you quote her minimizing and twisting it does not make it feel like she gave the best apology. Honestly, 26 is pushing it on this kind of behavior. Want to be wrapping up soon with the getting so drunk you kiss strangers, because you can't think.
Comment number 5 by DB Fool 2019 one day ago. NGT. She swears she didn't sleep with him and that it was just a kiss. That's a record-scratching statement. The old "it was just a kiss" gets them every time. I'm doubting it was just a kiss, and she's already 26 doing things that 21-year-olds do. Those days should be past her. You learned about her and should be moving on. She failed the long-term commitment test.
Downwards arrow tip rightwards. Reply number 1 to comment number 5 by Brutal Static one day ago. Yeah, maybe she didn't actually sleep with him, but that's a blowjob in the bathroom level of guilty conscience. And that's just if she's being technically honest, she could still be flat out lying. Bounce OP. Plenty of girls would never do this in the first place. Find one of them.
Comment number 6 by Hanging Around 2025 one day ago. Nor. What happens the next time she goes out and gets drunk so she has an excuse to make bad decisions again? Drinking isn't a hall pass to do stupid shit, including just a kiss. You can forgive her now if you want, but you will be here posting again in the future.
Comment number 7 by Noe's 3683 one day ago. I don't think you're overreacting at all. I've been in your shoes, although it was quite some time ago. It may have just been a kiss to her, but she allowed herself to get drunk enough to where she couldn't control herself. That in itself is worrisome. Absolutely nothing wrong with taking a break and seeing how you feel about it a week, a month, 6 months down the road.
Comment number 8 by Ryan_the_awesome one day ago. Some people will say it's a sign of things to come. Others will say people make mistakes, and it could be nothing more than that. What are the facts? She committed infidelity. She was honest without being forced to be. She wants to move past it. Honestly, as little help as it is, only you can say what you should do, knowing yourself and her. Work through it and chance a future together, or cut ties and move on yourself.